All right, let's talk about the review for Unit 1, Test 2. And so we should have that in front of us here. We're trying to determine the unknown angle in a triangle like it's pictured below. So here would be our unknown right there. And we should know that the sum of all of the angles of a triangle should add up to 180. So if I take and I add the two that I have, I end up with 120, and then that means if I take 120 away from 180, that I need 60. So in this one, x is going to equal 60 degrees. All right, the second one, same type of thing. We're trying to figure out angle P, which is going to be right here, but we know Q and R, so if I add the 28 and 67, I end up with a 95, and then if I take 95 away from 180, I end up with an 85. So angle P is going to be 85 degrees. This third one is number 2, looks like. Find the value of x in the triangle. Same type of thing. Here's our x over here, but I know 106 plus 42 plus x has to equal 180. So if I do this, I end up with 148. And then if I take 148 away from 180, we end up with 32 degrees. So in this case, x equals 32 degrees. All right, there's our first page. So page 2, it says use a ruler to measure the dimensions of the tile to the nearest centimeter. What is the area of the tile in square centimeters round to the nearest whole number? Well, here's our situation. You can't see me use a ruler on here. So you're going to have to use the ruler, but here's where I need to measure. I'm going to have to measure my base, which is down here, and I have to measure the height, which I can put right in here, and if I use an index card, I make sure it's nice and straight so that we form that 90 degree. And so when I do that, I can end up with the values that I need. And those values end up being to the closest centimeter, end up being 6 centimeters for my base and 6 centimeters for my height. So when I plug that in to solve that, remember it's 1/2 base times height to get my area. Okay, so I take 1/2 times 6 times 6. Well, if I go ahead and multiply that, I end up with 36. And then 1/2 of 36 is going to be 18 centimeters squared. So that's going to be the size of my tile. If I go down to the next one, it says the rectangle below represents the base of a rectangular prism. That means it's 3-dimensional, but they're only showing us the bottom. Use a ruler to measure the dimensions to the nearest centimeter. Again, you can't see me use the ruler, and so if you're having trouble with that, you need to come in and ask some questions. Because I can't show you that on this right here. But if I measure my base across the bottom, I end up with 6 centimeters. Okay, to the nearest centimeter, it's closest to 6. And then my height up the side here, closest to 5 centimeters. So remember our formula for volume, because we're finding volume, volume is big B H, where big B is the area of the base. So to find the area of the base, I'm going to take the 6 times 5. Well, 6 times 5 is equal to 30. And then now we have to plug that in place of the B and multiply by the height, which is down here. It says the height is 18 centimeters. So basically what I need to do is multiply 18 by 30. And I'm going to put my 30 on the bottom, because whenever there's a 0 like that, I can just bring it straight down. I really don't have to multiply by 0, and then I can multiply by the 3. So the 3 times 8 would give me the 24. And then 3 times 1 plus 2 would be 5. So my volume is going to be 540 centimeters cubed because we are talking about volume. All right, so the next page. Find the area of the trapezoids. Okay, so we've got a couple of different options. So depending on what you like, remember, formula for the area of a trapezoid ends up being 1/2, and we have base 1 plus base 2, and then times the height. Well, the bases are those two parallel lines. So in this case, if I use the bases, I'm going to be using the 4 on this one and the 10 on this one because those are the two parallel sides. And then my height is this one right here, the 5. So if I plug that in to my formula, I end up with 1/2, and my bases are 4 plus 10, and then my height is 5. So now it's just a matter of simplifying that. So I have 14, and I have times the 5 still, and I'm going to take half of that, so I'm going to divide by 2. Well, 14 times 5, that gives me, it gives me 70. And then 70 divided by 2 ends up with 35 centimeters squared. So then my answer should be 35 centimeters squared. The other option would have been to, instead, you could have cut this apart right there and had a rectangle and a triangle and found the area of each and added those together. That would have been definitely another way to have solved that. I'm going to use the formula again for this one. So I'm going to take the 1/2, base 1 and base 2. In this case, my two parallel sides again are these two. And so I'll plug in the 8 plus 12. And then my height is this one over here because it's perpendicular. It forms at 90 degrees. So that'd be times 3. Well, 8 plus 12 is 20 times the 3 and divide by 2 for the 1/2. Well, 20 times 3 is 60. 60 divided by 2 is going to give me the 30 centimeters squared. Okay? Again, if you're not understanding, come in and ask those questions. All right, number 6 on your paper looks a little bit different. It says it's like the volume one from before, but here's the situation. We really haven't talked a lot about the multiplying fractions and things like that. So we're just going to get rid of the bottom part where it says the height is the 4 inches. What's the volume? So we're just going to practice measuring this. So they want us to measure the length and the width of it to the nearest 1/4 inch. So again, you're using your ruler on your star chart, so we can use that. You can't see it up here, so we've got to, I'm going to give you the answer, and if you're not getting that, you must come in and ask some questions so somebody can help you, okay? So whether you're asking at home or you're asking here at school, to the nearest 1/4 inch. So if I measure this top or the bottom, either one, doesn't matter, you should end up with 6 1/4 inches, okay? And if you measure the height, which is over on either side, it really doesn't matter. It ends up being 2 3/4 inches. Okay, again, you've got to come in and ask if you're not getting that. Okay, all right, so we're on the next page. And again, they're going to have us measure the dimensions of the parallelogram to the nearest 1/2 centimeter. So the 1/2 centimeter, whoops, I'm about to mark that off. So here's my parallelogram. And so I need to figure out where I'm measuring. Well, my base is pretty easy because I can just measure down here for the base. And if I do that, I end up, the nearest 1/2 centimeter ends up being 6 centimeters. Okay, and so that's where that's going to be. Now my height, remember my height is not going to be, it's not going to be this. This is it's not our height because it is leaning. So we really have to draw in a height, whether I draw it in here and it goes straight down, using my index card to make it nice and straight makes it good. Or I could have extended here and drawn it on the outside as well. And so my height, though, is going to be in here. And if I use my ruler to the nearest ½ centimeter, this one ends up being 8.5 centimeters. So if I'm looking for my area, remember it is to, we would take base times height for that. We don't divide by 2 because that's if we have a triangle. We just have base times height. So I would take 8.5 times 6. So that's what I'm going to do for this one. So if I take 8.5 times the 6, I end up with 51 because I have one decimal spot here on this. There's a 1 here, and I don't have any here. So my answer has to have 1. So I would put my decimal point here. So 51 centimeters squared. And then on the bottom one, depends on how you read it. What is the area to the nearest centimeter? Well, this is the nearest centimeter is 51, but if you actually measured it again, you would have had 6 to the nearest centimeter and then times 8 to that centimeter, because it's actually closer to 8 than it is to 9. So it is possible that you came up with 48 centimeters squared, depending on where you rounded it. Okay, if you're not understanding some of these, you need to come in and ask questions so that your math teacher can help you. We will gladly help you, especially with the ruler and things like that. Have a good day.